NFL Combine going on down in Indianapolis. Got a couple of questions for BMitch about this because,
About the combine?
yeah, about the Combine
I
because
don't remember that far away.
we well, not necessarily about
I'm
your
joking, man.
experience, but about the current Combine and how useful it is.
Yeah.
Because when you look at how things work out now, a lot of players that are at the top of the draft are not taking part. Cam Ward just came out today saying he's not going to throw. Shador's not throwing. We'll get into that in a little bit, but part of the reason I bring this up, B. Mitch, is with a lot of the new technology in sports, specifically in football,
Uh-huh.
there's chip data now where you can get how fast a guy runs on the football field. You can get how quick these dudes are moving around.
Uh-huh.
And so I go back to a video a couple of years ago when the Rams were drafting Puka Nacua.
Uh-huh.
In their draft room, he was talking about, Les Snead was talking about how his 40 time wasn't great, but if he were to sort guys by miles per hour on the football field, he would have been among the top. So then why do I care about his 40 time? Because last I checked, when you play football, you don't run 40 yards straight with no pads on. I want to know what you run in pads, and you have that data available now. So how relevant is what they're doing at the combine?
But the thing of it is this: you get everybody in one area, and you get to compare them against each other. You get to watch how guys react, how they compete. It's still something that's there because guys been playing football all these years anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So if we gonna say now it's not important, it wasn't important before. But still, when you got them in that one area, you got everybody in the same situation. Now I can see what they can do. The guy, how about the guy that might run 22 miles per hour in a game, but then he goes running the 40, and he does it. But I know more or less that's a competitive type guy. What about the guy that runs 19 miles per hour in the game? Then when he get out here in the 40, he runs 19 miles per hour. He is exactly what he is. He's not going to ever be that guy that's 22. But just like if a dog ever chase you, you're faster than what you run the 40 in. Let's just be real about it. But I think you get everybody in the same area just to see how people react to things. Because every year when we go into a draft and we say, this guy's a top guy, that guy, they normally end up being the top guys.
Mm-hmm.
They don't slip, but they're guys that aren't necessarily at the top who come up. So it's still there for the people that did not play on TV all the time, did not come from the bigger school. Those guys can open eyes.
Well, and I think that's where it's big, obviously, for guys that are going to get drafted outside, say, the top 25, somewhere around there. You know, some guys can maybe raise their stock a little bit and get into the back end of the first round. I think it's still big for them. But for some of these top guys, you have any issue with them not taking part, like a Cam Ward or Shador?
I don't have an issue because in 1990, they weren't taking part.
Mm-hmm.
They went to the draft, they did the interviews, they went through all the testings, and then when they had their pro day, they did the work. Like, I didn't do a lot of the stuff at the combine when I went, but on the pro day, I did everything under the sun. You know, hell, they had me doing running back stuff, receiver stuff, defensive back stuff, catching punts and kicks. You know, hell, I wish I had done all the stuff at the combine because I damn near died in some of these pro days. You know, then when I went to travel to the New Orleans Saints, hell, you would have thought I was 10 people.
Yeah,
you know, but I think the top guys, they've already the league solidifies people. They say, well, this guy this. So you know you're there. Only thing you can do is hurt yourself on your pro day. Because the pro day is all controlled by who? You. So the player and his coach comes in and do some stuff. If you don't look good in your own pro day, that's gonna drop you.
So the thing off of that I think is interesting, if you were someone's agent, if you're Shador's agent, or if you're Cam Ward's agent, I think those are the prevalent ones because of the quarterbacks going early and throwing. I don't know that either of them are going to raise, maybe they can hurt their stock a little bit, but I don't know that they're going to change their stock significantly by what they do at the combine. What would you advise them to do if you were their agent? Are you telling them to participate and do all the stuff? Or obviously they're going to be there because it's so important with the meetings and everything, but are they taking part? Or?
Go there, be around people, support your teammates, support guys you know, answer questions, do the interviews, do all your medicals. We're going to do this. We're going to work out for the pro day. Because the pro day is more controlled by you.
Mm-hmm.
See, if you go to the combine, they're going to more or less put you in a situation where they know you're not good at. At your pro day, you could do everything you're good at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you can keep doing it over and over again because you get to basically design what you're going to do. I would still have them go there and go through all the stuff. But then they don't have to work out.
Commandante Tequila asked, "Why don't they run in pads and cleats and helmets?"
Well, because when you run the 40s and when you practice at home, you don't have on cleats and helmets.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
I've asked that question too because more than likely, shoulder pads, helmet, pads, cleats might weigh about 10, 15 pounds. I would like to see what the guy's running at. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
If I got a guy that runs 4.2 in t-shirt and panties, as I call it, and then he kisses his uniform on and he runs 4.4, 4.5. Then I got another guy that might run 4.4 in all that stuff, and then he put on the uniform, he still run 4.4 something. He's probably gonna be the guy who I would really want. Not the guy that loses all his speed because he put on a little equipment.
Yeah, which positions do you think still benefit the most from it?
From running
From just doing the combine in general, whether it's the 40-yard dash, the broad jump, all the stuff that you go through. Is there a position group, or is it just kind of depending on each person?
even when I went to the combine, my mindset was, okay, I'm never gonna stand flat-footed and jump a broad jump.
Mm-hmm.
Probably never stand flat-footed and do a vertical jump. But the guy that they may be comparing me to, if I have 7 inches on him in a broad or 6 inches on him in the vertical, and then we lift weights and I lift more than him, they might lean towards me, right? So I always looked at it as competition. Hell, I was happy I went to the combine as a quarterback. Think about that. And then I was able to put down numbers that running backs were putting down because I know they weren't going to play me at quarterback. So you begin to position yourself, and I was paying attention to what everybody ran, everybody I had to compete against, and it made you, know what you were competing against.
Sure.
So I know they got all, like I tell you, I say this all the time. Yes, we've had a lot of people who've come up and designed something to where they seem to be more important in sports than the people that were playing and the people been doing it all their lives. Still, it comes down to some of this. What I see. I've watched guys come in to a training camp. I see them going to them today, and I still can see a guy go, he don't have it, or he has it. And when all the stuff is over with, the guy they've been telling me was so good, and then you look at him and you think he ain't that good, and he ain't. So, yes, they got all these numbers because everybody needs data. It needs stuff to be something they could go look at. And also,
Yeah.
you know what it is? All of a sudden, you got a guy that you say was just great, and your general manager call you, and you go, "Hey, see, this is why we went at it. You still have something to protect you,
Sure.
instead of just saying, well, I thought he could play, but
Yeah.
when you thought he could play and he's good, you don't care about showing him none
It's
of those
just
things.
it's just the sometimes reinforcement, sometimes
Yeah,
but you can't put too much stock into it. The tape is going to speak for itself,
yeah.
and you have to weight that
Because I don't
appropriately.
think there's a guy that has ever played football that is garbage on the football field. Then he goes to the combine and he does something. They just go, "Oh, good, this guy here. Now we're gonna take him." You have to show something on the field for them to even invite you to the combine.
Yeah. No, and I think when you look at it, I think it's still useful. The thing that Dan Quinn mentioned this in his presser the other day, the most important thing is the relationships and the interactions and being able to talk to
Yeah.
guys. What was your combine experience like talking to dudes or like talking to coaches and going through some of those meetings and stuff?
Well, I think the best thing talking to the players, you get to find out guys from bigger schools what makes them go. You talk to them, ask questions because you want to know why they think he's better than me just because he went to the school.
Yeah.
But I think like some of the medical stuff, hell, I had a scar on my right knee because I broke my kneecap in the 7th grade playing touch football. Didn't know it was broken. Got operated before I went to the 11th grade, and they took a piece of my kneecap out. So I get to the combine. Now, it was never nothing because I never had an ACL, nothing like that. So I get to the combine, they're like, well, what's this? And I went to the combine. I was ready. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
By the time they finished jerking my knee around, hell, I touched finished playing the game. The next day we got to run the 40. I am sore as hell. You know what I mean? So that part scared me, but everything else to me was just like, cool. I'm here with all these dudes. It was that type of thing where I've always been a competitor. So I was basically sizing dudes up. My guy was Tony Rice, quarterback from Notre Dame. Whatever you do, I'm gonna be right next to you. He couldn't throw the football. I was way better than that. He ran a 4.7 something. I was faster than him. I killed him in the shuttle drills. He had about a little bit more of me on the vertical, and I killed him in everything else. So I feel I had a
I like it.
successful combine.
Yeah.
Neil O'Donnell was the big dude. He was supposed to be a big dude quarterback. Every time Tony Moss got up from LSU, Neil, let BMitch throw to me. Because Neil couldn't put it where I could put it. So that made me feel good that another receiver wanted me over this dude that's supposed to be the guy. So,